My name is Justin Wong, and these are the matches that made me.
Nothing left to say. Guess who's back? It's Justin Wong!
Going to Evo 2004 and before that, it was interesting because obviously you have tournaments like Final Round, Tech Showdown, ECC, Midwest Championships. So I was going to all the tournaments, playing in like Marvel 2, CVS2, Third Strike, all the Capcom games. And it's either if I won them or I got second or third. So I felt really good going into 2004 just because like I've been playing all the games, play at my arcade every night, play with like the best players in New York, and then winning all these tournaments, it gave me a big confidence boost, especially like going into Evo that like maybe I can win something else besides Marvel 2, because all the other years before that was always just Marvel 2 wins. So I wanted to really show my place that like, you know, I'm not just what West Coast called me, a Marvel scrub. I want to be known as like a multi-fighting game player. Third Strike was weird, like especially in America, because Third Strike became popular after 2002 for Evo 2002. So because Third Strike was not part of the official games for 2002. So they're like, because we're not having Third Strike, we're just gonna do USA for Japan. It also wasn't really doing well in like my arcade as well. But eventually I think once Japan came over and showed like America, like this is how you play Third Strike, everyone got back into Third Strike because they're like, you know what, this game's actually pretty good. And it never got to the main game, I would say until probably 2005. So it was still like a secondary game for like before Marvel 2, like it was Third Strike. That was like kind of like the game leading up to the final game.
His destruction knows no bounds. He crushes Americans and Japanese alike. Back to give the beat, it's Daigo!
So before 2004, I only played Daigo one time in Third Strike, which was in the Family Fun arcade tournament before Evo 2004, and he beat me 2-0. So that was my only, I think that was my first time ever playing Daigo in a fighting game, because I was known more of like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So I never had a chance to play Daigo. So it was actually pretty fun playing Daigo the first time, like even if it was a pre-tournament before 2004. I think from a score perspective, I think Chun-Li wins 6-4 against Ken, and pretty much how the theory works is like Ken's supposed to win the first round because Chun-Li doesn't have bar, so Ken is abusing like sweeps, standing heavy kick, just mashing these like really big long range buttons because Chun-Li doesn't have the biggest punishes without super. Because if she blocks like a sweep, she can do reversal super with SA2, which does like 40% of her health. And then when round one's finished, Chun-Li should win round 2 and round 3 because she would have built enough meter to keep Ken very passive from throwing these long range normals. That's just by theory, right? And usually it kind of works out in that favor. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't work like that. It makes it harder to play in the neutral when Chun-Li has super because Chun-Li can hit confirm, crouching medium kick into super much easier compared to Ken. I think Ken is maybe like a 1 frame window for canceling, while Chun-Li is I think like 2 to 3, which makes hit confirming a thing in Third Strike. I feel like hit confirming Ken super was not really a thing. It's more of like a, I know I whiff punish you, I know it's a feel, I know you walked into my button. But Chun-Li is like, if I see a hit, I can do super. So while Ken cannot. I think it was the first round, first game. And I was winning that round, I was winning that game. So I thought I was doing good because the reason why was like, okay, I'm winning neutral, I'm out footseeing him, I'm like punishing his sweeps, he's whiffing in front of me, I'm punishing all that. I'm like, I have this round in the bag. All I gotta do at this point is chip him out. And I think the crazy part about that was like, I realized he just stops at one point where he's just like, okay, I'm not advancing any forward. And I thought at that point, like, I didn't know he was going for the parry, or he's assuming I'm gonna do super, he's just gonna parry it. Because if you look closely, he's just tapping forward, right? Even from like this full screen space. And the reason why he's tapping forward is because Chun-Li SA2, it's like really hard to parry on reaction. After the super frame, because it's a 2-frame super, you have to just premature tap forward and you get the parry on the first hit instantly. And I didn't know he was doing that. I thought he was like, you know what? I'm in a dangerous situation. Let me try to bait the super. That's why like you see me like whiff the standing heavy kick, because I wanted him to try to see if he could jump and everything, but he didn't. I was really confident that he was not going to parry the super. And it's just because it's kind of like a, you know, like a Mythbusters thing. Because when you think about like social media, there's no social media, there's no YouTube. Well, what do we have? We didn't have MySpace yet. I think we had like Zanga or LiveJournal. But, you know, there's no tech where people are sharing like, hey, this is what a full parry looks like when you parry like all these other supers. It was really something that like a lot of people, especially from like the NA scene or in the arcades, were like, yeah, the super's unparryable. That's why it's so broken. That's why it's so cheap, because it's too many hits, so you can't really do it. And when you think about it, it makes us feel like we're stupid, because why wouldn't you be able to parry the SA2 super, right? Oh, there's only a few supers in the game where it's like unparryable, like Akuma's like level 2 super ground pound, or Gil's like angel super. You can't parry that. But maybe they tried to parry it, but no one has ever even got the first hit, or at least the first rep as well too. Like, no one has ever gotten that far. For some reason, we really thought the SA2, you just couldn't parry it. And in my head, I thought that too. And then when he started doing it, I was like, uh-oh, right? I started mashing like a little kid and everything, and it didn't really faze him. And that's kind of when the full parry came about. Everyone lost it, and from there, I think he kind of like took over the game. Like, it didn't really affect me, but from there, he kind of won pretty convincingly at the end. I selected this match because, one, it's a moment, even though I lost, it's definitely the moment that got so many people into fighting games. It also made people, I guess, have conversations with me more, because I don't like the fact that people find other top players intimidating to talk to when you go up to it. So when you have something for somebody to like come up to their favorite top player to have a conversation about, like, it can be awkward, right? Like, you don't know what to say, you're starstruck, but the fact that this moment exists and they could just come up to me and say, hey, I got into fighting games because of Evo Moment 37, then we could start a whole conversation about it, right? So I would say that's kind of why I put that on my list, because it kind of brings the bonds together, brings the connection together. And, you know, I'm not really salty about it. It's really fun at this point. It's like a meme at this point, and it's also kind of what brings, like I said, everybody else together.
Truly the beast. Unprecedented level of Street Fighter ability shown here today.
Next on right now, he's chesting up, just like in stance, please. What up for just on from now on, Tiny Town Fair. Good luck. Next up, we just saw relaxing.
I think this match, me versus Mike Ross at GameStop, Street Fighter 4, was on my list because it was kind of the first time we played fighting games in front of a large crowd. We didn't know how big this event was. Crazy part was, I actually was about to give up my spot because the round 3 to qualify to go to San Francisco was the same weekend as final round. And I was like, I need to go to final round. I need to get this money, right, for Street Fighter 4, because it was over like 500 people at that tournament. So I'm like, man, 500 people, $10 a pop. Why don't you play at the GameStop tournament, because it's on Friday, and then fly the final round and just play in there. And I was like, all right. So, you know, the only few times I ever use my, you know, what they say top player privileges is I message Shin Blanca and I said, hey, can you move me to like the last pool on Friday or Saturday pool, if anything, because I'll fly from New York to Atlanta and come after this Gamestop tournament, qualifier. So I qualify for Gamestop, right? And I go to the airport, my flight was delayed for like 5 hours. I got to the final round venue at midnight and I'm like, I got DQ for sure. But you know what's crazy? He saved my spot. He saved my spot and I fought my match at midnight. So I felt whoever, I don't remember the guy, but I'm so sorry. Just want to say that I'm so sorry I made you wait all the way till midnight for me to play you and just dive kick you with Rufus. My bad. It was just insane that there was people spectating for Street Fighter, because from everything I knew, people don't really spectate in the fighting game community back in the day, like 2008 and prior. They came to compete. So like if you lost, then you spectate, but these people came out to spectate like it was an actual sport.
And I had to get that on video, my brother.
And I'm good.
Yeah, the format was weird for Gamestop. Like you go to your local Gamestop and you play in a round 1 qualifier, right? And then you gotta come back a few weeks later to play in a round 2. Then you come back a week later to play in round 3. Once you win round 3, you go to the finals to San Francisco to play against like the top 16 of the other players that qualified, right, across America. The craziest part is that you couldn't bring your own controllers because the store said if you use a joystick, you're a cheater. So you had to use the kiosk machine, you know, the one that's really worn out on the Xbox pad. So like it was just bad. So like you can't even pull it. It's like stuck on it. So it's like you're so like stuck to the screen and playing it. So it was really hard to qualify if you are not used to playing pad. So like I spent the whole month practicing on pad against my friends that played on joystick. So then I got to the point where I got really good on pad, and that's kind of like, I would say, how I qualified for like the Gamestop like finals in San Francisco.
Mike Ross, Justin Wong at Evo Controller booth. Guys are having a friendlies.
So me and Mike, you know, obviously like Mike Ross played Marvel 2, but we never really like ran into each other in Marvel 2. Like I didn't know like how, like he never made it to me in the bracket. But so I think our first time we ever played in the competition was actually Street Fighter 4, but not at GameStop. We actually fought at final round that same weekend where I flew from like round 3 all the way to final round. I fought him in like I think like semifinals or something, and I put him in losers. So from there, like when I saw him that we're in grand finals, like in the GameStop tournament, it was kind of like funny because it was kind of like I beat Lutex in the finals, and now I fight Mike Ross. It was like the Excellent Adventures combo, and it was pretty funny. But it was epic because like we were talking to each other. And we're like, we got to make it like a show, because you know Mike is, you know, he's an actor. He loves doing stuff like this. So he's like, we got to make a show. Like if you win, you gotta pop off hard. It's like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll pop off hard. So that's kind of how we went with it. I don't remember what I said to him. I think like I said like, what up Mike? What up Mike? I like something like that, but I don't remember what I said. It was kind of like the heat of the moment because it was not a traditional like 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5. It's like first to like what, 5 rounds? That like whoever wins 5 rounds, like you're the champion, you're the victor. So every round we kind of like did something. So I want to be honest with you guys, because obviously I have so much more knowledge and information about like, you know, winning like specific events, like what it means. To me, during that GameStop national tournament, I didn't care too much about it. The reason why was all I cared about was like, okay, if I go to this tournament, I could win X amount of money to pay like family bills. So winning Gamestop national tournament, there was no money. It was like, you win this arcade cabinet, right? A Vuelic's arcade cabinet. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I live in a small apartment in New York City. That cabinet couldn't even fit in through my door. So for me, I was like, if I won this, it didn't mean anything to me for the present because like it didn't help me pay for like my grandma's bills or stuff like that, right? So when I won, I instantly sold the cabinet off to like Jason Wilson, who owns Game Galaxy in Tennessee. So I sold it to him for like super cheap price too. Like it was like, cause I think the cabinet was retailed for like 15 grand. I sold it for him to like 7 or 8 grand. I was like, yeah, like I can't have this in my house. Like there's no way it's gonna fit in there. So like it to me, like at the start, I didn't know how important winning like Street Fighter 4 national tournament was because one, it obviously got my name out there. You were able to skip Evo Poos during 2009. Like it got me a lot of different new opportunities that I didn't know that it would have done. But as my younger self, I didn't care too much about it because I was gonna forfeit round 3 to go to final round because final round obviously had prize money if you won the tournament.
Have right here in front of us.
Classic.
The run back.
2 heavyweights right here. Mr. Marvelous, Justin Wong, the president.
See, I like that. Justin ain't trying to be too friendly. Chris G, I like that. Have a little choice of words, Hopefully it's friendly.
If you were in a Marvel P tournament during that era, you were hoping that you don't run into Chris G. You were hoping that he just loses or like gets in his own head and just loses in a tournament. You always wished that upon him. You never wished upon him good things because you did not want him in the bracket. So me playing him in that loser quarters bracket match, he just smoked me. He smoked me first game, smoked me second game, smoked me, about to smoke me third game.
Justin's such a smart player, but when there's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do. You gotta win at the beginning of the match.
He's still looking okay right now. He's actually trying to snipe Doom, but Morgan is not letting him have it right now.
Shell kick, she's got great mix-ups once they're cornered. So 2-0, Justin Wong, last leg.
Last leg, yeah, on this tournament.
But Chris G has Virgil. I mean, his team is so good.
Let's go, Justin!
And then like, I kind of make this like miraculous comeback, right? With Storm, X Factor Storm, Hail Mary, and he had like 2.5 characters still. I really don't know how I made that comeback. Like Storm had just had no life. And the only reason why I X Factored, right? Like from the start of it, it was a bad X Factor in the first place. It was because like, I couldn't take another Morgan chip damage. Like any other fireball, I would have lost.
Oh One down, yikes, maybe he heard you.
So it was kind of like, okay, time to do Hail Mary. I did Hailstorm, and me doing Hailstorm X Factor, he's just push blocking and I can't get in. Like it's not even a real mix. But when I did that, I was like, okay, if I can just kill Morgan, get like a 1 good clean hit, and then make Virgil eat it incoming, I can win, right? And he still also had X Factor on deck. And that's the scary part. So his Morgan gets hit by my launch, able to kill her from those hits because it's X Factor level 3. So now I'm like, he's probably gonna come in super X Factor and seal deal, like safe play style. So I try to do a strategy where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna jump and then air dash down forward at right when he comes in, I see him. So I can mix his inputs for the super and the super won't come out.
Hold up. Oh! Got the hit! He gotta make it count right now.
Justin Wong!
Oh Lord, he gotta make it count right now. Where's his dad?
Got it! Is that
oh Lord, he gotta mash it. Wow! Wong! He came back, he's still alive! Oh, the crowd's loving it.
And that's why when you see him swinging with the heavy, that was actually his super, but it didn't come out because I crossed him up at the last possible second where he can input a super. It didn't come out and I was able to trip guard him, get a full combo, kill him from there. So it's also something I never practiced, but in my mind, I felt like it just was gonna work at that right time, and it did. From there, we go to the 4th game. I think the funny part was like, before the 4th game started, Chris G was like, yo, you knew that was gonna work? And I was like, just shaking my head, yeah. Even though I don't know why I'm talking to him in the first place, like, because I hate fighting against him. And the fourth game, I beat him pretty bad. I beat him pretty convincing.
Virgil, though, don't ever count this guy out.
Wow! Good like counter hit there to the helmet breaker. He's going to the last game.
Justin Wong still in it.
So the moment where Virgil came in with Helmbreaker, and he obviously still has X Factor. He's gonna be X Factor level 3. With Wolverine, I did crouching M. Crouching M is like an upward angle, like the kind of like claw. So I was like, all right, I know he's gonna do a Helmbreaker here, but he's in the corner, so I can't cross him up. So I know he's gonna do something. So I was like, I'm gonna just try crouching M and see what happens, right? Because even if Helmbreaker hits me, like I have a full team still. So I'm like, I could survive the rest of the X Factor, because this Virgil's not the best when it comes to X Factor 3. So that was like my backup plan, right? Crouching M hits into standing H, call Akuma, get a full combo from there. Best part about that, never practiced that before the tournament. I just felt it. I felt like it was gonna work. Now, because I did that and it worked, right? At that one moment, I was like, I went home the following Monday. I was like, you know what? Let me practice this. This was actually pretty good. Like, this seems like really good tech to stop Helmbreaker. 10 tries, I got it 0 times. The heat of the moment, like the clutch factor is just really good. I just feel it. But when I was trying to recreate the situation, I could never get it one time. It was just insane.
Justin Wong, wow, not enough can be said about him as a fighting game player.
You gotta stay focused,
He's
man.
Like the greatest of all time, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Okay, here we go.
Time for the 5th game, right? So I feel like because Chris G is known to like kind of get in his own head, not have like the best mental strength, I was like, maybe I can win this now, because like I love beating off the pressure. The crowd's cheering for me, everyone's losing it. They obviously want him to lose. So, and I think because of that, Chris G started playing kind of more slower, nervous. I was able to kind of avoid more fireballs, make interesting decisions. Even doing like TAC fake resets, like for the first time ever. Like one time I did this reset with Akuma against Chris G in the match, the 5th match. I never practiced it in training mode in my life. I just went for it.
Oh my goodness.
He's gonna go for another. Oh! TAC bang! Chris G was thinking he was gonna double TAC.
Oh my God. Is this it? Is this it for Chris G?
Why?
Right,
Okay.
and it worked. Everything just worked. Like, it's just like the universe was like, you need to win this set. And from there, it was kind of like final character, Virgil versus Akuma. Craziest part was Chris could have won that. He actually made the biggest mistake, because when I did the beam super, he had swords, right? After he blocked the beam super, he could have just went for the cross up and probably would have hit me, because it's like 50-50, right? But instead, he super jumps with me, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna super jump back and just do the beam super to like kill time, do chip damage, because Akuma's beam super does so much chip damage. And at that point, it was only 1 second left on the clock. And from there, I won, and the crowd erupted. And I think it gave me the adrenaline and the momentum to like move on and do more crazy stuff throughout the whole bracket.
6 seconds though, he can super. No, he doesn't.
Nice, nice, trying to buy some time right here.
Got it.
Oh my God, 3 seconds on the clock, Chris G.
What's gonna happen? Chris G is down on life. He needs to land a hit somehow. He can't do it. Justin Wong.
Justin takes
He
it.
takes it. Justin Wong.
Oh!
He's going out. He is dancing on stage right now.
I think the reason why I like timeouts so much is because it's, I don't know, I think it's more of just like, there's no reason for me to just like risk it all. Like, and just like force myself to like make a risky decision. So ultimately the end is like, okay, you have 90% health life lead, right? Why do you need to kill him? You have 70 seconds left on the clock. Why do you need to rush? And even for the other person that's trying to make the comeback, why do you need to finish the match as soon as possible? You have like literally 70 seconds to kind of like take your time, get a few hits in, to kind of like create a scenario where a comeback is super possible, compared to like, you know what, I need to make a scramble happen. Let me just do a coin toss that's not in my favor. I let people beat themselves. They're trying to like win the round as fast as possible, while I'm trying to like create a slow comeback. So I think that's why I like timeouts.
This crowd is standing up and applauding. They're going nuts for Justin Wong right now.
Oh my goodness.
The fact that the crowd was cheering for me, it was the first time ever, because a lot of times people would just like boo me because I play a runaway or I play like a top tier team, but because Marvel 3, I played Wolverine Storm Akuma, and that's why I think like the crowd was cheering for me, because it's like super underdog team. And it felt really good. It felt amazing, and it felt like it gave me a lot of like energy to like keep playing this team, because ultimately in the end it's like it's a struggle playing with like with the team that I chose to play for Marvel 3, but I love when people get excited or it gives people hope that they can play whatever synergy that they want. So hearing the crowd cheering for my name for the first time ever, it definitely solidified that it's like the rest of Marvel 3's lifespan that I will only be playing Wolverine Storm Akuma. That match was on my list because that match was the one that started the run, the losers bracket run. Like, because the whole year I could not beat Chris G. Like his Morgan Doom was just like completely insane, completely like a impenetrable wall.
This is definitely a tournament of legends, man.
Unbelievable.
Justin Wong, what comes back, did not release, did not let go of the steering wheel, and he drove straight to victory. Justin Wong advances. Yikes. Evolution 2013.
I was carving the name in the tombstone.
Oh my
right
God.
there.
I thought he was done too.
I thought he was done, man.
Count him out, man.
Never bet against Justin.
Very happy I am in the finals, and like I said, I hope I win, and hopefully it's a very good match with Kubo.
Super Battle Opera is like Japan's like Evo. It was like their big tournament, and it was so iconic because every tournament of this match is like do or die. One game, single elimination. So there's always like qualifiers from like all around the world, from like Latin America, Europe, North America, and like if you qualify from this, you actually come to Japan, play an SBO. I forgot where's the venue for like old SBOs, but I think it was at like kind of like Tokyo, where Tokyo Game Show is. Like it's like they rented a big hall out. It's like it was really like a show. Like they're literally Japanese Evo, right?
それでは握手をして席についてください。そしてこの神同士の試合、さばいてもらいましょう。実況スクリーン。
That was probably the last SBO as well too, 2012, because they had it at outdoors. It was at a festival, like a music or video game festival during August. If you guys don't know, coming to Japan in August is always a big mistake because the humidity is insane. You gotta take like 3 to 4 showers a day because it's so hot. And the cabinets were obviously overheating. It was like really hot. They had to like have these like people fanning you, you know, in this little tent, you know. So stuff like that was really hard to play. Like I was sweating bullets. Like it got to the point where I was playing in Street Fighter 4 qualifiers that the game started lagging. Like it just started slowing down. And the worst part was I couldn't like sit properly because like I fought Kia Betsu. He was a Viper player. How am I supposed to see the flame kicks during summer? You can't. It's invisible pretty much. So I got hit by every flame kick in the book. So trying to play an SBO in the heat, it was pretty draining at the same time. It felt like a physical and mental challenge. It was really hard to win, right? Usually most of the time it's like somebody from Japan wins. So there was always this meme where like, well, it's not the meme, it's a fact, that anytime a North America team qualifies for SBO, they lose round 1. So they literally lose round 1 most of the time. And most of the time when I qualified for Third Strike, yeah, we always lost round 1 because it's single game, single elim. And like, we're not used to those rules. We're used to like 2 out of 3, double elim. SBO, they announced Marvel 3 and they did Marvel 3. It was a single elim, 2 out of 3. That was like their rule set. So came out here, played in this tournament. That's like obviously not the norm because obviously it's at this point it's 3 out of 5, double elimination. And it was interesting because one of the matches I fought against Marvel 3 player Cho. He beats me the first game. He actually beats me the first game. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, bro, if I lose right now, I would feel so sad, so ashamed, because obviously like, I'm like the only USA representative for Marvel 3 for SBO, right? And like, Marvel 3 is like, this is America's game or whatever. That's what a lot of people say. And but I was able to clutch out that win and go to the grand finals against Kubo. And I'll be honest, I washed Kubo. It was pretty bad. It was, I think the match was probably like 3 minutes or something. It was really short. And I was able to win. Somehow Giuna was ready with the USA flag and gave me the flag. I don't know why I put up the flag. It was just so cringe. I don't know. I'm mad. I'm still mad to this day that like when I watched the match on stream, I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. It felt really good winning SBO, and it felt really sad that it was the last SBO because I think like if SBO was still going, I probably would still want to try to qualify for like every year because it's so fun. Like I just love the show aspect. It's like so exciting. It's so hyped. They really make it as like a show, and I think that's kind of what's the beauty of it. And me winning, it was like really important to me, just because like America's never won. So America finally winning SBO meant a lot, just because like we were just like the laughing stock of like, oh, you always lose round one, never do well, right, type of thing. And yeah, it was so good that like I was, you know, they gave me the trophy, the plaque. They even gave me $1,000, and I was like, oh, we won money. So I used $1,000 to like take every USA player that was at SBO to dinner. And I thought that was really cool. You know, the bill actually ran up to like $995, so just right. So it felt really good. We went to like an izakaya place to celebrate, and I really do wish SBO was still a thing, because I think a lot of people would really appreciate SBO now.
I'm very happy. First time for American to win SBO, and I hope everyone's really happy back at home. And thank you for Evil Geniuses for bringing me out here. And I love you, Japan. You're the best.
The people's happy. They want to see this match as much as we do right now.
It's the winners finals, baby. Only 3 competitors remain. Justin, FChamp, and Christy, could you ask for a more hotly contested top 3 than this?
The reason why this match made me is because it really showed like how much I wanted it. Like even though it was just the winners finals match and not the grand finals match, you could tell like the amount of back and forth that we had. Earlier that year, we actually played a first to 50, and I won 50 to 49. So it was like really close. Like obviously it could go either way, and that's kind of how it felt in like 2014, because like I won the first game pretty convincingly.
Not a good looking chance. When you have dominance like this from Justin Wong and you have the crowd behind you, nope, it's not a good look.
Then he smoked me the second game. Actually, no, he made a comeback the second game.
We've seen Justin in this situation many times.
Critical push blocks, and he's avoiding the X, but it ain't gonna be enough.
Good catch.
What a comeback on 3 characters, Filipino champ.
He had a Magneto X Factor 3 comeback. And the third game, he was smoking me for like 80 seconds, like just laming me out. And that's what I'm saying, like most other people probably would have cracked and they would have just got steamrolled and lost. But I really just took my time, because I know like, okay, you know, he still has a very fragile team, and I still have X Factor, so I can still make like this big comeback within 10 seconds if I needed to. And that's kind of how it went. Like literally like 15 seconds left on the clock or something, like I was able to hit Magneto and Doom at the same time, kill Magneto, and then do a little bit of damage on Doom. But obviously with FChamp's team, he plays Phoenix. So I already knew his strategy was like, he's gonna do Photon Rays, Plasma Beam, and try to tag in Phoenix safely, so I can make a mistake and make her pop. Or because he's obviously gonna go all in with offense because he has a insurance card by turning Dark Phoenix. So I called that out. dashed in, did a full combo, not a full combo, but like a combo good enough where it doesn't kill Phoenix. Like I leave her with a pixel when I snap her out and bring in Dr. Doom.
He should snap. The bird is gonna snap. Smart move there, trying to kill some of that time.
Oh, he got it. He sealed it with this.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's not enough. It's not enough. There's no time.
But then I'm like, okay, I won. So I'm just gonna block. But he comes in with Doom, dashes right away, gets a grab, right? Kills my first character. And then Akuma comes in and I'm like, oh, this is scary because like any hit right here, he would have won. He got the hit, drops the combo. I mash, team super. Let's get the Shoryuken super out, right? And then he X Factors and I'm like, I counter X Factor because I thought he was gonna do X Factor level 3.
Oh my God. He had that comeback last night. The amazing comeback last night.
Oh, I'm a fan. Yo, Ski, I am a fan. I've seen this man battle for 11 years.
And then the fourth game, you know, I got smoked. I got smoked the fourth game, unfortunately, even though I made that big comeback in the third game. And the fifth game, it was like a lot of back and forth. Like I killed Magneto, then Dr. Doom killed my Wolverine. So now it's like Doom Phoenix versus Storm Akuma. And we were going back and forth. And eventually it got to the point where it was in his favor because his Phoenix was able to take out my Storm. It was just Akuma left. And then from there, I'm just like, how can I beat 3 characters? Because he has Dr. Doom, Phoenix, and Dark Phoenix, right? So how do I beat 3 characters of Akuma? And I was able to make regular Phoenix pop to Dark Phoenix with just like an air fireball attempt, right? So now I'm on the ground teleporting. He hasn't popped his X Factor yet. And I try to like launch him, but he hits me with a jump down S. He causes an X Factor. And I'm like, well, I lost, right? He's gonna finish his rest of the combo and like, it's game over. He moves on and I'm gonna go to lose bracket.
Could be it.
No, he got him!
Both of them! X Factor!
It's Justin Wong!
But then I'm always thinking in my head, like, there's a chance where people could drop the combos, right? So I'm always mashing Team Super or like inputting some invincible reversal. I've been doing this since like Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4. Every game, I'm always been doing some type of reversal. And magically, he actually did do the wrong sequence, wrong combo. I hit Dark Phoenix. And for some reason, Dr. Doom comes in the mix while Dark Phoenix is getting hit. And it was like literally a miracle on 34th Street, man. I don't know what else to say. It was a miracle that he just makes the biggest fumble, the biggest mistake of his Marvel career. And that gets me moving onto Grand Finals winner side. I think when I see people physically, like they get upset or like annoyed, I just start being more annoying. Like play more annoying, you know, like not play my usual aggressive play style. Because when things don't go accordingly to somebody, they start making a lot of mistakes. And I think that's probably maybe the ultimate reason, because FChamp got so thirsty at landing that hit with Dark Phoenix that he just didn't know which combo to do. Somehow he called Doom in the process. And I'm like, why would you do that, right? Like literally jump S, X Factor S, you get a full combo. But for some reason he did jump S, X Factor, dash in, right? And then do a combo while calling Doom assist. Like, I don't know what the thought process was there, right? So it just, I think it was more of like, because of the frustration, because like, if you think about it, I stole the third game from him, right? Because I'm making like that last minute comeback, making those interesting decisions of snapping out Phoenix so she doesn't turn dark. So like, it's like I stole games, and maybe he felt like there's no way like I should be close to losing to this, but it's at that situation. And I think I kind of like use that, or maybe I don't really use it. It's just more of just like, it never flustered me, because it's like, I know I'm the underdog. I know my team is like not the best, not the meta. So for me, it's like, I just want to keep on going without making any mistakes. And I felt like I didn't want to go into doubt, because 2013 I had so much doubt, but with 2014 I felt so confident because of how much time I put into the game.
And it just happened so quick.
It looks like it might be his year.
back. He's back with another shot to take the seat. And the people love it. I don't even want to look on Twitter right now. The Mexicans.
Oh!
The Dominicans.
Viva! Viva! Justin Wong, viva!
Yo, long live Marvel, man.
Viva Marvel! 10 more years.